So I don't know about for you guys, but for me, when I typically get some new cases for my phone, there's usually a brief honeymoon period. You know, you like it, it's brand new, it's fresh, and then after a while, it kind of wears off and you kind of get bored with your case. With these cases here, these are the Crave cases for the iPhone 16 Pro. With these ones, I actually had the opposite happen. I kind of fell more into love with these cases as I used them. I got a few different brands that sent out phone cases for me to test out after I got the iPhone 16 Pro. And this is a case that I found myself going back to over and over. After initially testing these for a while, I went to some other cases and I'm back on this sand colored case for my 16 Pro, and I've been using this the past few weeks. So I'm gonna tell you why I think I keep getting drawn back to this case style and why I like this one. There is one caveat that I have for these cases that I'm gonna tell you about also that relates to the grip, but stay tuned for that. So as you see here, these come in a lot of different colors. This is the sand one, there's a berry, there's the navy, this is the black, there's the sage, and then there's also a forest green. So that's not even their full lineup. There are a few other ones as well. I like that they have some other colors outside of your normal, just kind of black, gray, navy. And I do really like the sand color, and I like that sage color as well. I think they're a little bit different, and I just kind of really like the look of those. So these are a polycarbonate and TPU case. So this is the dual guard. The reason why it's called that is because it has these two pieces right here, as you'll see. So this has a softer TPU inner lining, as you can see there, you know how flexible that is. And then you have your polycarbonate kind of outer shell. So this has MagSafe built in, you can see that right there. The MagSafe on this is super strong, by the way, and that is part of what I'm gonna talk to you about with my one caveat. But these fit on here really nice, very easy to swap these out if you wanted to buy a few different colors. Realistically, you could just change out the shell on it if you want to. But all the cutouts on this and everything are great. Works really well. You can see then you kind of get your accents on the sides where you have your buttons. So on that side with the cutout, you know, over here with these buttons, these are super nice and clicky, nice and responsive. You can see very easy to use your action button there. I have that set up for my flashlight. On these cases with the camera control, the way they did it is they just have a cutout. It is really nice because it's a nice kind of subtle beveled out groove. One of the unintended benefits, I think, of kind of Apple's design with this new camera control button is it actually makes things a lot more ergonomic when you're trying to hold the phone here. It's kind of a natural resting spot. So when you're just normally kind of manipulating your phone, your finger does kind of tend to slide into that groove there, and it makes it a lot easier to just manipulate your device. But as far as the grip, when you have this polycarbonate kind of outer shell, there's pluses and minuses to what materials they use on these cases. If you had more of a rubbery texture on the outside part of this case, you know, it would be a little bit more easier to grip this and be a little bit more grippy where it's gonna stick to your hand, but then it's also gonna stick to your pockets, it's gonna stick to lint and things like that. You know, it picks up a lot of that stuff. So this polycarbonate shell, this has stayed very clean for me. It's, you know, got a little bit of a hard shell, you know, feel to that. It's smooth. It is textured. I really like that texture, but I find honestly this texture doesn't add a ton to the grip on this phone, especially depending on like your hand size and everything. You know, I can manipulate this okay, but what I really like to do with these cases is, as I said, it's got really good, strong MagSafe built in. I like using these phone rings on here. You know, I can put one of these phone rings on and it just really enhances kind of the grip and the usability of these cases. Because as I said, the PC back on here, you know, isn't the most grippy surface, even though they have a lot of grip texture added onto here. So I've reviewed this sync wire case already before. This is really cool because you can actually set this up to prop it up in vertical. You can then turn it on its side and it will set in horizontal. You can really dial in your angle. You know, this comes in and out, and then it also kind of rotates a full 360 degrees. So I really like the way this works with this case. I think this is really kind of the best use case scenario if you can add on one of these rings onto the back of this case. So, you know, just it's a way easier manipulating your phone, being able to read it when you have one of these on here. And then this is also double magnetic. So I can stick this onto my fridge, onto a metal shelf, you know, if you're out in public. This is magnetic, so if you're gonna film yourself or even if you just want to watch something, you know, you're washing dishes and you could stick it onto a fridge or something like that, it's pretty neat. So with adding that grip from the phone ring, I think that basically makes this a perfect case. I'm very happy then with the 2 layers. I think this is a nice case then that's going to add a lot of protection, but pretty minimal bulk. This is pretty middle of the road as far as bulk goes. You know, there's your more minimalist cases out there, but some of those I kind of hesitate if I actually were to drop it. With this, I feel like I'm going to get good protection if I actually drop this, but it's not super bulky like an OtterBox case or, you know, kind of one of those really chunky cases. You've got a nice kind of raised lip around the camera on the back of this case. You've also got a little bit of a lip around the front of this as well on the actual screen. Even with a screen protector that I have on, I still have a little bit of a buffer there. So it's pretty simple to take your phone in and out of these cases too. I can just pretty much pop these in and out, but it does stay in there very well too once you get it in. This is the Sage right here. It kind of gives me that like military vibe with the colors and everything. Again, MagSafe, they do work really well also with wireless chargers. I use this in my car. I have a MagSafe wireless charger as well, and I can just slap it on there. At nighttime, I've got a stand that I just lay it on and it kind of just sits at an angle and it charges with that fine too. There's no issues whatsoever with the case depth or anything with that. It charges perfectly fine wirelessly if that's how you want to do it. So as I said, there's a lot of other colors as well of these cases. I have made shorts on each one of these individually, so if you want to see some of the other colors, you know, more up close and kind of want to get a little bit more of a feel for what they look like, I showed how all the buttons work. I showed that lip around the screen, that camera bump protection and everything. So if you do want to grab one of these Crave dual guards for yourself, I've got an affiliate link in the comments and description. They do make this for other past iPhone models as well, and they make it for other devices like Pixel and Samsung and things like that too. So if you're struggling to find one or you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I can check it out for you and see if you have one for your device.